So welcome guys, it's Andy here from D6 Evolution, and it's time for my Deathwatch review. Now, anyone who's new to D6 Evolution, we're a 40k channel which aims to make you guys better 40k players. Now, on with my Deathwatch review. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I'm a big Deathwatch player. I've been playing Deathwatch with Blood Angels for most of the ITC season, and I absolutely love the army. So I was super excited to see that there was a White Dwarf coming out with new Deathwatch rules. New rules. And I've got to say, guys, having had an initial read through of these, I'm fairly disappointed by this, and that's putting things mildly. That being said, and we will come on to that in a minute, that being said, that probably is enough in this supplement to actually make Deathwatch competitive again. And I'm going to be going into that because there are some really cool things in here. But let's get the elephant out of the room first. There is not a single unique thing in this supplement. Not a single thing which is new. There's not a single thing which is unique to Deathwatch. So they've copy and pasted the Space Marine stratagems across from the normal Space Marine Codex, and some of them are really good, and we'll get into that. But there's nothing new there, and they've not given us any Warlord traits. They've not given us any relics. You're not even getting a unique chaplain litany in here. You've got nothing unique. Deathwatch. That being said, let's look at what you have got. First of all, you get access to Doctrines, which is huge for two reasons. One, I think that Deathwatch, number one, it stacks with special issue ammunition. So this is a huge boon to the army, which is going to live in Tactical Doctrine, I think. And particularly for my veteran squads, this is going to be absolutely massive. The second thing with that is it means that Imperial Soup is back on the menu for these guys, being one of the last Space Marine chapters to get Doctrines. It means you can start allying them back in with Iron Hands for their Untitled Dreadnoughts, with Blood Angels as well. So I think that you can't overstate how much of a improvement just getting Doctrines is. It's massive. Because I think the way to run Deathwatch is running them with allies. I think at this point it's very difficult to run them pure. Right. Second thing they got access to litanies. It may just be the standard Space Marine litanies, but Deathwatch got access to litanies, which is huge. So the ones that I think are really cool, and we'll come on to this a bit more, is they get the +1 to hit, they're going to get the +1 to wound, and situationally, guys, you can take the the +2 to charge, which is really cool as well for your or around your chaplain, which has been very difficult to get him in the right place to be effective a lot of the times, because the litanies happen at the start of the battle round. But the Deathwatch have the Beacon Angela, so when you drop in the rest of your Deathwatch, you can teleport over your chaplain to the place you need, so you can get all your squads +2 to charge and the 6-inch pylon and consolidate. So I think that power is going to be really cool as well. The other one which is going to be really good is the 5-up versus mortal wounds in some matchups, because again, that's a really rough matchup for Deathwatch. When it's facing things like smite spam, so getting a 5-up Feel No Pain versus mortal wound is amazing. So I think chaplain litanies is going to be brilliant. Thing number 3, although we don't get any new Warlord traits, what I was finding, particularly when I was allying them in with other armies, that I really wanted to take the Deathwatch Warlord traits, but I still wanted to take the Blood Angel stuff as well. And actually having Hero of the Chapter means that you can take Warlord traits from Deathwatch. So there's 3 really good ones I'd want to take in an army. The first one is getting command points back up on a 5+. Fantastic. Second one, in some matchups, and bearing in mind you get to change this between matches because it's a stratagem you use at the start of the game. The second one you can use the one to ignore cover on a unit. That's going to be huge when you're fighting off against Marines, and that one's nowhere to hide. And the third one you can use is the 6-up Feel No Pain for all models within 6 inches of your Warlord. Again, a really nice little Warlord trait to take there, and it's going to have the veteran squads tend to bunch all together, so I think that's situationally very useful as well. So those 3 Warlord traits, although we don't get any new ones, you're going to start taking them if you're taking allies with other things. Okay, and number 4, let's talk about the stratagems, which I think are good. I'm going to put them all up on the screen as I go along here, but the stratagems which I think are good and the ones you want to use. The general one I want to talk about is transhuman physiology. Deathwatch tend to run big units, 200-300 point units, and I think anything which runs that, the ability to be wounded on a 4+ is amazing. I think it's absolutely amazing. Next stratagem to talk about is target sighted. So essentially puts all your stalker bolt rifles into sniper rifles. Means that you can target characters. Now I like this for 2 reasons. Number 1, I think Deathwatch have probably the best stalker bolt rifles because they can give them the hellfire ammunition to wound on a 2+. They get to re-roll 1s because of their chapter tactic as well. So they're going to be wounding on 2s, re-rolling 1s, and they're going to be able to target characters. That's huge. Now, when they become sniper rifles, they get to do mortal wounds on 6+s as well. Again, that's really, really good because Deathwatch have 2 ways to +1 to wound. You've got your chaplain. If you manage to position the unit so it can only just see the character, then you're going to get mortal wounds on 5s, and then you've got a way of doing +1 to wound from a stratagem as well. So you can do mortal wounds on 4s with these guys and wounding on 2s anyway. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I'd say the rest of the stratagems are just okay. You technically made the Corvus Black Star that tiny bit better by allowing it to move and shoot without penalties with big guns, but honestly the rest of them I don't find particularly useful, to be honest. Now there's a couple of things in here which need a FAQ. First of all, hopefully they'll FAQ to give Deathwatch a lot of the new units, because as it stands they don't get access to any of the new units, which sucks a bit. Second of all, the Duty Eternal stratagem has been FAQ'd in every other book that I've seen. So I suspect that'll be FAQ'd as well. I've no doubt about it. So the last one I think they have to remove, obviously, is Adaptive Stratagem. They've removed it for every other codex. They're going to have to remove it for us. You never know. Maybe they'll replace it with our own unique Deathwatch stratagem. That would be nice. So overall, how do I think this is going to change Deathwatch armies? Well, the answer is it's probably not going to change Deathwatch armies. What it is going to do is make them a little bit more powerful than they were last week. And that in itself is probably going to make them competitive. You've got Doctrines. The Doctrines stack with this special issue ammo. You can ally in with all the other armies which use Doctrines again. You've got Chaplain Litanies, and you've got a couple of good stratagems in that. You've got Transhuman Physiology, and you've got Hero of the Chapter. And you've got the target sighted with the Stalker Bolt Rifles. Beyond that, nothing is going to change. So I was hoping from a lot more from this book, but what it has done, honestly, it probably is enough. So there we go, guys. That is my thoughts on the new Deathwatch supplements. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Let me know if I've missed anything. And guys, if you're still in lockdown, stay safe, and hopefully this will get sorted out soon. Take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.